Watching this back, you wonder, do you guys really want Vince McMahon back in WWE? Looking back in 1995 was really the reason why we all really saw that Vince McMahon isn't really that smart. He has a lot of stupid ideas and a lot of dumb characters added to this. Now, it's not fully Vince McMahon's fault. Some of the writers there were flat out stupid. It took us a couple of years left before we officially got into the Attitude Era. And man, it was a rough start. I mean, if I'm being honest, 1995 is hands down the worst year of the WWF. But it did lead to what eventually would be the Attitude Era, like I said. But the biggest thing I could take out of this show is that at least it gave us one of the greatest ladder matches of all time. And 1995, at least you can rely on Shawn Michaels, Bret the Hitman Hart, and to an extent, The Undertaker. Diesel was good and all, like he was a good workhorse, but I just never saw the guy as like the face of the WWE. He was a good world champion, but he was not a baby face. Like he's essentially what Roman Reigns was in 2015. What do you know? 10 years later, 20 years later, actually, they make the same mistake of trying to force some guy down your throat that didn't work out. But, anyways, let's just talk about this show. Hakushi defeated the 1-2-3 Kid. Now, Hakushi, all I really know him for is this match and the match that he had with Bret the Hitman Hart in the very first In Your House, which was a amazing, underrated match. You should definitely go out of your way and watch it. Hakushi is a solid wrestler at giving the right opponent, and this was one that was really good. This, for a while, was the match of the night. Uh, let's talk about the rest of it. Hunter Hearst Helmsley defeated Bob Holly. This was just a way to put over Hunter Hearst Helmsley. Back in the day, Hunter Hearst Helmsley wasn't shoved down our throats like he is today or later on during the 2000s. But, oof, we'll get to that when we get to it. The Smoking Guns defeated the Blue Brothers in a random tag team match. No stakes on the line. I guess the tag team championships were questionable because I think either Yoko was hurt or Owen was hurt. One of the two were hurt and kind of messed up the entire tag team division around this uh, period of time because yeah, they just needed to throw a tag team match in there just for the sake of it, but this was whatever. Barry Horowitz defeated Skip, and just like his name, we're gonna skip through this. Next, Bertha Faye defeated Alundra Blaze. Now, Alundra Blaze is a good talent. Bertha Faye, on the other hand, is not, and they really tried, but um, little did we know that, like years later, Alundra Blaze would win that title back and throw it in the dumpster. Um, but we'll get to that when we get to it. Undertaker defeated Kama, aka the Godfather. This was around the time where it was Undertaker versus Ted DiBiase and whoever he would hire. Essentially, actually, as of recording, I just listened to the Chris Van Vliet podcast to Paul Heyman, and he mentioned that Curtis Axel was just a Paul Heyman guy, just so it was a bunch of people to for CM Punk to fight in order to get to Paul Heyman. This is what that felt like for 1995. It felt like The Undertaker was just fighting a bunch of random people just to get to Ted DiBiase. Um, and I don't like when they do that. Like when they are forcibly trying to put people there. And I feel like Undertaker was ready to move on from feuding with Ted DiBiase. I think he was ready for the World Heavyweight Championship. We don't get that until later on the following year, or the following years, I should say. But um, this was whatever. Clearly, the BSK had good chemistry with each other, but this match was whatever. 1995, like I said, this was a really rough time for wrestling fans. What else was rough was Bret the Hitman Hart defeated Kane. Now, this isn't the Glenn Jacobs that you know. This is Isaac Yankem, DDS. The dentist gimmick. Remember when Kane was a dentist? Yeah, this was that period of time. He beat him by DQ. It was such a stupid finish. Around this time, Bret would make anything work. He tried his best with this, but This was pretty stupid. And that's kind of disappointing because I'm like, Bret the Hitman Hart, one of your top guys, you put him against a dentist, a goofy ass dentist nonetheless. Like, man, that is a testament of how stupid the writing was in 1995. But lo and behold, we get a phenomenal match here in Shawn Michaels and Razor Ramon for the Intercontinental Championship. This was a ladder match 2, as it was promoted. Um, this is the first time that they actually introduced two ladders. So we were slowly building up to what the ladder match was eventually going to become. This is the third ladder match of all time. And I like that they brought in two ladders because now the match felt different. It didn't feel like a rehash of the first one. They changed it up a bit, not just the result. And the match was just truly great. So good that it should have main evented. I mean, the IC belt has main evented SummerSlam. Why couldn't this main event? I mean, come on, people. I mean, they could have sold the show of like, oh, Shawn and Razor in a ladder match once again. Like, they could have easily main evented, but they didn't. They dropped the ball there. And this match, like I said, was one of the best matches of all time, even. Um, this was around the time Shawn Michaels went back to the IC Championship, and he ended up doing phenomenal work with the IC belt. He beat Jeff Jarrett for the belt, and that was one of Shawn Michaels' most underrated matches of all time. And this one was just another great match, and I'm glad that we got to see another ladder match between these two. Thank you for giving us this classic. Too bad the main event was it. King Mabel defeated Diesel. Oh, I forgot to mention, Undertaker got his face broken, so he was wearing a mask around this period because of Mabel's BS. He just felt very unsafe. I know the guy has passed, but like Viscera, Vic Daddy V, he was just he was never meant to be a wrestler. If I'm being honest, he was meant to be a character, and let alone be King of the Ring and a contender for the WWF Championship. This was not his place, and this was further proof of it. Diesel couldn't have carried this. I get it; it's the champion's job to make the contenders look good, but even like I know Bret and Shawn probably could have pulled this off, but Diesel couldn't. And to top it off, why even give someone like Mabel a chance? Omos is better than Mabel. I'm being real right now. But anyways, this was just one of the worst main events of all time. That seems to be the trend with a lot of these SummerSlams, where the mid card was solid, but the main event was awful. And then 1996, we're gonna have the opposite problem, where we have a phenomenal main event, but a very disappointing mid card, undercard. If I were to say, but this show, I'm giving it. There is some stuff that I did like, so I'll give it a C. I'll be nice ish. But this was not a show I'll go back and watch outside of Shawn and Razor. There's a couple other good things here and there, but nothing worth checking out again outside of that ladder match. Go out of your way and check it out. And then we'll move on to 1996. So take care, everybody.